So a few days ago, I was driving my Cayenne, and that chassis system failure sign came on. From my experience, because this happened to me last year, same conditions, it was extremely cold, driving home, and this sign came on my dash. The car definitely does drive a lot differently with that air system on. It's a lot bumpier for sure. Driving right now, I'm driving in winter, and these roads are not very clear. They're pretty icy, so it makes for a dangerous situation. So definitely I'm just gonna head back home. So as you can see, my air suspension system does not work, and the sport function does not work as well. Hopefully it's not the air compressor, but I'm pretty sure it's just a fuse. And if it is, it's one of those things as a Porsche owner you just have to deal with this particular vehicle. It's a known problem that when in cold temperatures, like really cold temperatures, and especially in higher elevations, this often tends to trigger this warning, and then when it does, it disables your entire suspension, so the vehicle drives awful, and it's not very safe. So just heading back home right now. I'm pretty sure that this is just a fuse. I'm a little concerned that I turn the car off and then back on, and I still have this air on my dash. Hopefully it's just a fuse and not the compressor. It's a known issue with this particular vehicle that under cold temperatures, and especially at higher elevations, it tends to trigger this error message on your dash. There's no fix for it. It's just something that as a Porsche owner you just have to deal with, because there is no way to resolve this. Being minus 35 last week, that's what triggered it for me. So I'll just almost home. I'm really interested to see what the fuse looks like when I get home. I have a feeling that it's just a blown fuse. So here's a close-up of the front, much lower than the back. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the fuse. Okay, so the fuse that I want to take a look at is located on the driver's side, on the side of the dash, right here. There we go. All right. Now I believe the fuse that we need to look at is this one up here. So I'm going to pull that up. Okay, there's a fuse. Yeah, it's blown, and I think this is all that's my issue. If I replace this fuse, everything should be back to normal. Here's another look at that fuse. It's a 40 amp. This is what controls, this is the relay for your air compressor, and you can clearly see it's blown. So I'll go ahead and replace that and then test the air level suspension system. Here's a new fuse that I picked up at Canadian Tire. It's a 40 amp. Alright, I'm going to pop the new fuse back in. Oh wow, you can hear that? Yeah, that's the front of the vehicle going up. Right now, I believe the vehicle is just trying to figure out how to level itself. Okay, so it looks like it's set level. Let's go ahead and turn the vehicle on. Okay, no error messages so far. Let's see if the air level suspension works. So right now it's set at normal. Got it. Go ahead and put that on low. Yeah, okay, perfect. That works fine. Let's see if the sport mode works. Yeah, that works. Let's see if I can raise the car. See, I knew it was a fuse because I had the same problem last year, and having owned a Porsche for the past 10 years, I haven't had any problem with the actual air compressor itself. It's a known issue that the fuse tends to go out for the air suspension, and it tends to happen on extremely cold days, and like I said, especially at higher elevation, which I am at. So this suspension seems to work fine. It's one of those things with a Porsche, like you really can't do anything to resolve this issue. It's just something you just have to deal with. But everything looks like it works fine now. So I'm happy. Compressor works fine. Everything is back to normal. And all it took was a fuse. Now, I had a friend who had the same issue. He pulled over, started his car. The issue persisted, so he took it to a dealership, and the dealership charged him, get this, $300. They said they had to do a software update, but I bet you that all the dealership did is replace that fuse. I hope not, but I suspect that's what happened. But anyways, looks like my issue is resolved. The car is back to its low level. Now all I have to do is put the cover back on, but I'm just going to tape a spare fuse on the inside of the panel. So if I'm ever out on the highway, and the fuse blows, I've got a spare right there. That's kind of handy to get to. Because like I said, you don't want to drive on a highway when the roads are slippery with your air suspension system not working properly, because it's an extremely bumpy ride. So that's a wrap.